Other interesting political news, you have Biden to use more of the U.S. oil reserves. Because, of course, why save that for an emergency? Now, in terms of tactics and moves on the political chessboard, it was actually, I would say it was smart for him to do this during the midterms, during that last election cycle. They actually performed, Democrats, in terms of political statistics, they reported the best ever in 40 plus years. In terms of, actually, Republicans and Democrats, in terms of traditionally, every time you have, let's say, for example, a Republican in the office voted into presidency, traditionally the opposing party, they would actually do better in the midterms, gaining seats in the House of Representatives and the Senate. Quite the antithesis. Instead of that red wave that everyone kept talking about, yeah, it was more anemic, more of a red leak. Or sorry, it's 2022. But nevertheless, numbers aside, brain farts aside, they did great. I think partially because the U.S. released oil reserves, which very temporarily in terms of, if you look at how much consumers use in terms of daily basis of oil products and gasoline, I mean, it's not many days that you're gonna get relief, quote unquote, but it does for a couple days make the prices artificially look lower. Again, it's not sustainable. It's supposed to be your reserves, like the name intends. But a couple of people called them out, but now enough people really knew about it or cared. So I think I suspect it kind of helped them in the midterms. Now, this is brought to us thanks to End Wokeness on X Twitter. And End Wokeness said, quote, Biden just announced he's releasing 1 million barrels for America's emergency reserves ahead of the election. Back when Joe Biden took office, the U.S. had 640 million barrels of oil in our reserves. We're way down to 450 million barrels, a 40-year low. Perspective, we use 22 million barrels per day. So it's going to have a pretty negligible impact. And this is a little graph that shows you all the oil reserves. Looks like it, what was it, peak around 2000, was it 2010-ish? It looks like the number of barrels is at a little over 0.7, here, 27 billion. And they say started 2022, you had 593 million barrels. End of 2022, 372 million barrels. Now, love him or hate him, but Trump actually had a good idea back when, the pandemic first hit and oil was trading at a negative. He suggested, well, wait, I mean, this is the cheapest oil is going to be in our lifetime. Why don't we buy a bunch of it and throw in the oil reserve? And everyone, in the mainstream media specifically, critiqued him, saying, oh, yeah, it's just a handout to your oil buddies. Imagine being able to go back and buy oil for the cheapest price point ever. I can't conceive of a reason why that wouldn't be a smart, prudent thing to do, especially when you consider how much applications it has. Pretty Viral got 171,000 views and 3.4 thousand likes. So not pretty viral, say moderately viral. One of the first responses comes from End Wokeness. He said, quote, yes, it's as bad as it sounds. Biden is using our emergency reserves to lower prices before the election, and no one is even trying to stop him, getting 1.5 thousand likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, under President Trump, the U.S. was energy independent and gas prices were low. Under Joe Biden, the complete opposite, getting 59 likes. Now, it's also true, it was the first time in, 60 years the U.S. was actually not, they were actually, the exact vernacular escapes me at the moment, not energy independent. It actually had actually exported more oil than we consumed. It was what was it, 2019 or 8? When Trump was in his office, his first time in 60 years, the U.S. actually exported more than they imported when it comes to oil products. It's astonishing how much you can do and how much you can produce when you remove government bureaucracies and actually allow oil companies to drill and manufacture and process and refine in the U.S. Yeah, Mike Torillo says the economy is being held together with duct tape and zig ties at this point, getting 26 likes. Red Wave Press says Joe Biden is trying to lower gas prices and give the American people the false perception that the economy is doing well and inflation is going down. Getting 66 likes, which, good point. Because again, most people in the United States really don't take time to tune into podcasts or do some research or check out the news. A lot of them just kind of hear, what are you talking about, the water cooler? What are my friends saying on the Facebook? And then a lot of them will just look at the gas price at the pump. And again, if you don't know the full picture, well, wow, the price went down for a couple days? Things must be doing great. And in actuality, yeah, not so much. Arthur Eagleman says, quote, Joe Biden's America is a shit show, getting 86 likes. Ian Jager says, just in time for the election, how convenient, getting 20 likes. Planet of Memes gets an A+. They responded in meme form, which, I'm going to say, for them, is usually a 50-50 shot. So Planet of Memes says, quote, America last Joe. And it's a picture of Joe Biden and President Trump on gas pumps. It says, all voting should be held at gas stations. And under Biden, it was $3.99 per gallon. another Trump is $1.99.9 gallon. Out of curiosity, has anyone ever seen the "I did that" stickers that of the Joe Biden pointing and says "I did that" at the gas station? There's a while where those stickers were very popular, and every time you go to a gas station, it'd be the sticker of Joe Biden pointing to the price, and it said "I did that." Just interesting grassroots marketing. Getting 34 likes for that particular comment. Robert the Builder says that's correct. The first thing he did was stop the pipeline, and quote, getting 8 likes, which, yeah, never forget that either. See here. I don't see a lot of contrarian statements here. A little more of the classics, praising Elon for buying Twitter, defending free speech, as well as Trump. A lot of advertisements for t-shirts for some weird reason. I guess they must sell copious amounts of political t-shirts to have so many advertisements. But yeah, definitely quite concerning to just continue to use your reserves. But again, in terms of moves on the political chessboard, who's really going to know that Biden is doing this? Your average person isn't going to know. They're just going to see the price at the pump. They're just going to see their total bill when they fill up their SUV or car, whether they use these days for transportation. A lot of them aren't really going to think about, is this a temporary decrease? Is this because just because the U.S. is producing more, is the federal government decreasing regulation and red tape so they can actually produce more and refine more on federal lands, which say the federal government owns way too much land to begin with, but no topic for another time. Let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leave us a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.